Welcome to Red Bandana Gaming, the channel where Logan will show you everything from gameplay to gear. Their crew is here to take you on a journey through every atmosphere. Releases to news, you don't have to choose. Red Bandana Gaming is here for you.
Hey everybody, it's Logan here, and today I decided to go over a little bit of tech news that was released. Let's see, this was it came up on the 14th. This is an excerpt actually from IGN, but it covers an article that was an original post by Xbox News Wire with Xbox Series X Director of Program Management Jason Ronald, as he explains basically what the Xbox Series X Velocity architecture is. So as you can see, if we start with basically the top, the custom NVMe SSD, their solid state drive, the Series X SSD allows for 40 times the I/O throughput, essentially the amount of data transfer the console allows every second of Xbox One. Basically, it's a lot faster than the Xbox One standard hard drive. You'll be pulling data straight from the console, from the hard drive faster. The loading times will be cut down to nothing, is basically what it's saying. So in a nutshell, it's just super duper fast. But has not been designed not to drop in performance below a certain level. That's really good. Essentially, developers can design their games without having to work around data transfer constraints, no bottlenecks or anything like that. By, for instance, introducing the loading tunnels we've seen in open world games this generation. Yeah, that's when, we've all seen those in games where you're just like, all right, especially in like Final Fantasy remake. And I know it's not an open world, but it's got large areas with a lot of visuals. When you're, this is the, I know it's on PS4, but it's one of the instances that's most fresh in my mind. You know, when you're, for those of you who played it, when you're shimmying through a small passage and you're like, that's actually what it's doing. That's your loading screen. So that, will be done away with. They won't have to worry about doing that. Next is hardware accelerated decompression. Interesting. Series X uses both an industry standard LZ decompressor. Not too sure what that is. I'm not super into the tech. Like, I know the tech. I know a lot of it, but there are certain, I guess, tech words or things that they use, like LZ decompressor. I'm not sure what that is. And I'm not even going to pretend I do. And if it is something I know that they're just using something, I feel like a dummy. But hey, and that's when, oh no, it's Alex. If you know he is, he'll educate me on that. And a proprietary algorithm designed specifically for decompressing game texture data. That's good. Typically the largest portion of overall game size. The result should be that storage size and download times per game are reduced. So what that sounds like to me, it's like, especially in anything that's got an Unreal Engine game, like it happens in Gears all the time, where as soon as the game loads, everything will be there, but it takes like a split second and you see that weird muddy absence of texture and you got that quick texture load in. You won't have any of that. And by doing that, the game, I guess the game's storage size would be much, much smaller. Interesting. I'm going to have to ask him on that, see if he knows more about that decompression. Direct Storage API. This new addition to the DirectX family of APIs gives developers control over how they want to assign and prioritize I/O tasks in their game. According to Ronald, this should virtually eliminate loading times and make faster make fast travel seem actually fast. Like in Skyrim. But it wasn't that bad. Fast travel is still fast because, like, in Skyrim, yeah, you do get the loading screens. Or in, like, Spider-Man, he would ride the subway. So, I don't know, stuff like that doesn't really bother me. As long as they, like, Skyrim did have the loading screen, but it had the article or item or artifact or whatever that you could turn and manipulate. And as long as I can do something in the loading screen, that doesn't really bother me. But it's still faster than going from, one point of the map to the other point of the map on foot. So it's still fast. Sampler feedback streaming. Games regularly yeah, if you guys know where that was from, your regularly scheduled programming. Games regularly use different qualities of texture depending on how far you are from them. That is true. You'll often notice that in open world game trees are low quality in the distance and high quality up close. For instance, honestly, the place that you notice that the most are on Switch games. But I get it because they're portable, but man, the pop-up texture where it's all of a sudden you get texture pop-up. It's a lot worse than games in like, say, GTA where they're playing on PS4 or Xbox One. You get that, but nowhere near like this. Like certain games are just in Red Dead. But no matter how much of those textures are shown, current gen games will need to load the entire texture in the background. That is true. And yeah, Unreal Engine thing does that quite a bit. SFS allows textures to be loaded in portions, meaning the IO load is reduced and can be used elsewhere to create more detail-packed worlds. That is actually pretty nice. That means you can get higher detail on grass, because in a lot of games, I know if you see it, you'll get the grass when it moves and it's just like a solid piece of flat geometry. And you'll get, I guess it'll be pixelated along the sides. Sometimes they're just muddy looking. You'll get more realistic textures there. That'll actually be pretty nice. So, and that's with those four things. That's pretty much what the velocity architecture is compromised of. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. I like how Microsoft is releasing a lot of this ahead of time. I'm really looking forward to what they're going to show in the end of the month, in that I guess it's that first party showcase on the 23rd. I made not some really predictions, but with leaks and everything, I made that video that said this is what I would like to see, this is what I'm hoping, this is what, it's a possibility due to leaks and all that other stuff. But I don't know, I like this, even though there are those of us, again, I reference my friend Alex again. If you haven't checked out his channel, go do that. Yeah, he knows all this stuff like the back of his hand, where I'm only maybe, I'm tech savvy, but not down in the nitty gritties. So some of this stuff is really interesting when they release it. It gives me something to look up, to read into, to learn more about, and that's usually where I do a lot of my digging and knowledge base when they announce stuff like this and give us actual, I don't know, I always want to call them dirt sheets because of wrestling. I know they're not dirt sheets, they're spec sheets. When they give us stuff like that, it's actually pretty nice, so we can learn more about what the system does, how it does it. I don't know, I kind of like it. So even though some of it might be, foreign to me, it allows me to learn and to educate myself on this stuff, and it's pretty nifty. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there, a lot of you guys that are watching this might end up doing the same, and that's pretty nifty when they do this. I hope Sony does something similar. I know they have patents and stuff that come out, but I like it when they explain the hardware and explain what the hardware software combination and what everything can do, and don't always dumb it down in layman's terms, and it's pretty nice. I really hope we see that on the next PlayStation as well. So I like that we got a name for it, Velocity Architecture. It's a snazzy little name, isn't it, to make things go fast. Instead of saying Go Fast Architecture, Velocity. But hey, that's pretty nifty. So tell me what you guys think about this. If you know anything, if you can, give me a little bit of, why is everything shaking? If you can, give me a little heads up, give me a little information. If you know anything, drop it in the comments below. If, this enlightened you, tell me about that too. So thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Do it now. I'll wait. Did you do it? Thanks. Awesome. Remember to visit our socials right there, and the website for all your goodness. And thank you so much. And like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.